Now let's get to the horses. Escanto, your mighty steed.
Escanto.
Tell us about them, because every horse has a different personality.
Oh, where do I begin with Escanto? So I got Escanto coming. I'll have him 2 years in December. I'll have him 2 years in December. I got him at the beginning of 3. And when I sat on him the first time, when I was picking my stallions on what I wanted for the season, I sat on him the first time and I looked at my work colleague and I was like, this horse is going to be unbelievable. And I fell in love with him the second I sat on him. He is literally, he's like a dog. If I could put him in my bed, he would cuddle at night. He's you don't find horses like him. He has the right ability, he has the character, and he has the work ethic, and he's beautiful. And to find a horse with all of those qualities and all those characters is like a diamond in the rough. Like, it's very, very difficult to find. And as a stallion like him who breeds so much, he you can put him around mares. It's never a problem with him. And he's a very busy breeding stallion, and it doesn't affect the work, and it makes it so nice to be around him because I trust him more than people. Like, I can go anywhere with him and not have to worry about anything. And he fights for me, and him and I have a very good relationship. He knows he's the king in my stable. He knows it, and he walks in my stable every day knowing it. He's very much attached to me, and I'm just as much attached to him. But he's a fighter, and he works really hard for me. And I've worked really hard on establishing that relationship with him. Because when I sat on him when he was fresh under the saddle, I knew that was going to be a horse that if I got on my side, that I would have a pretty successful career with him. And so far, last year and this year, him and we've won everything together. All the stallion performance tests, the Bundeschampionat, Raststätte, two of the largest competitions they have out here for young horses in Germany. But I know him. Better than, I know all my horses really well, but I know him the best. I have the best relationship with him, and I think that's really important. And as we can see, the relationship that we have established together, yeah, the wall speaks for itself. So it's a really good feeling. He's one in a million. You don't come across horses like him. So it's really great to have him in my stable.
The work ethic you just brought up, and you just said he's relatively young too, because dressage horses don't, a lot of times, do not peak until 12, 13, 14 years old.
Yeah, so Escanto, he's coming 5 in January, so he's young. So there's a long way for him to go until we start doing Grand Prix work. But yeah, for the young horses in Europe, we start them slowly around 3 years old, and then we build them up. So this coming year in January, we'll start working on the next level. And the movements are a little bit more challenging at 3 and 4. It's more of showing off the gaits of the horse, the walk, trot, and the canter, the rideability. You're thinking more forward, letting the horse express itself in the movement, showing power and elegance and rideability. And then as you start to hit 5, 6, 7, that's when you start opening and picturing the goal for the next 5 to 10 years with the horse. How is the horse coming back? Is it going to handle, collected work easy? Is it going to handle a little bit sideways easy? You don't pinpoint it too much, but that's when you start to move towards the next couple years of if you're going to see that horse potentially in the upper levels. Maybe not at the Olympics, but is it going to be a Grand Prix horse? Can it sit on its hind legs relatively easy? Does it have the talent to hold himself without so much asked from the rider. And there's some things that he does pretty good without me needing to ask. And so I think the horse has a really bright future. He's really he's really talented. I have to constantly remind myself that he's an overachiever, and yeah, I take my time with him, and whatever I ask, he'll end up doing. But yeah, so next year we'll start playing with the next step and seeing where he's gonna be sitting in the next 5 years, goal wise.